talk about really the differences between academia in science and industry in science.
Well, I'll give you my impressions coming into academics, going to industry, and then coming back. So when I was first in academics, I was in academics for about 10 years. One of the challenges I found at the time, which has changed somewhat, was the lack of interdisciplinary activities. There was a tendency to stay within your lane, in your department, in your field. And I was more interested in solving problems, which meant that would require you to bring in different perspectives. And collaborations were just a natural way to do that. Industry has a different approach. Industry, as they say, there is no I in team. And industry functions usually based on teams. And so part of the opportunity going to industry was to explore how we could really push some of the collaborative efforts forward. The challenge, of course, is in academia, resources are more limited. In industry, the tendency is to have more resources, but the goals tend to be more limited. And so some of the freedom that you would like to have, you don't typically have. I'm not going to say you never have, but typically you don't have. And so as I went through several industrial or commercial opportunities, I to be honest with you, felt I was being opportunistic. If we wanted to solve a problem and I got to a point where I didn't think we could do it, then it was time to look for another place to try to do it. And eventually run out of places and run out of opportunities because, again, I was interested more on understanding the disease than necessarily developing a drug without understanding the disease. And I went back to academics thinking that had evolved. And it didn't exactly evolve the way I had hoped it had. Everyone wanted to start their own company. And, the biotech revolution was taking place, the dot-com revolution. So everyone thought they could be an entrepreneur as well.
Right.
And so there's a very different perspective. One side tends to have more resource, but much more goal-directed. The other side has more freedom, or the perception of more freedom, but is much more resource limited.